I would say I heard them haters was looking, so we gonna give them a show.
And we are going to do that. So, what's up, folks? Good evening. This your girl, Lakeisha Mosley. I had to jump over one of my favorite humans. And, we're going to talk about some stuff tonight. So, first and foremost, welcome, Roberto, as always. We just need to make this the Lakeisha and Roberto show, okay? Because they're going to put us off. They're going to put us off. So we are so happy that election is finally over. We have our newest president, President Joe Biden, and our soror, Kamala Harris, as the first Black woman VP. So, you know what, Roberta? I was looking at my memories. Mm-hmm. This time last year, we were mourning. I mean, not last year. This time in 2016, we were mourning the election of Donald Trump. I'm looking at my memories like all down the line. We was talking about how crazy it is. People already had clocks counting down to when we could vote again. She made history back in 2016 as being the second Black woman voted to the Senate.
Yep.
So we're going to start with these election results because I need you to drop some knowledge to these folks tonight.
Well, it was unexpected. I think the funny part was Donald Trump rigged his elections against himself. First thing.
Okay, I said I wasn't gonna lay.
2016. Oh, I was still in the Air Force. That's okay. 2016, yes, I was still in the Air Force. I remember getting a phone call from one of my friends, and he was like, "Dude, you should be happy that you're no longer in the unit." They were giving high fives, and we took the White House back, and all this other good stuff. And me and another gentleman, like a name, he's still in. God bless him. He was like, "What the hell is going on? They really are celebrating this dude."
Yes.
We have to kind of in both years that Dave Chappelle has given his opinion on Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that this one that the one that he did this Saturday is probably the most accurate. I'm not gonna repeat it. You need to look at it.
Exactly.
It's a knowledge drop for everybody.
Right.
The other thing is, I want people to understand that these results, you still have half of a country divided against what you think or what they believe or how they feel. You still have half a country. I'm gonna always go back to, as a member of the United States military, regardless of what branch you serve, in the capacity that you serve, you cannot have a character like Donald Trump, the character of Donald Trump, and still be in the military.
Right.
So any military member that goes, "Oh, wait a minute, hold up, it's my guy," I have to say, I got to press pause and say, if you were to act or say any of those things, it's punishable by the UCMJ.
Whoa.
Knowing that alone should kind of, if it's me, and like I'm thinking about supporting Donald Trump or any person like him, before I press that button, I got to say, wait a minute, because this person's about to be commander-in-chief. That isn't his own job. Got it. But it is one of his jobs.
Right.
And he's going to represent you in capacity to the world of saying, that's my guy. That's my leader. Everybody may not agree with Joe Biden or Barack Obama or George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, Ronald Reagan, you may not agree with them.
Right.
That faith that they have to go stand out in front of the world and one, be believable, two, be respected.
That's right.
And the most important one, be somebody that's like, if I need help, I'm gonna go, can you help me? And they think that they're going to get help and they believe that they're going to get help. And there's some kind of basis for it. You really believe that for the next 4 more years that you want that face to be Donald J. Trump?
Exactly.
I'm sorry, no. Not for me, it's a no. It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for me. So I don't know if people go through that deduction. And if they do, please, please, please don't go through the, well, Joe Biden, he signed this crime bill. Kamala Harris been putting people in jail. You need to look at the law in which the state that you live in. Because guess what? A prosecutor does have some leeway. I give you that. Not much, but they do have some leeway. Because they can determine if you have a mandatory minimum and the mandatory minimum is 10 years, that's not the prosecutor's fault.
Right.
That is the judge's fault. Who you voted for? Who your mama voted for? Who your grandma voted for? Who your great grandma voted for? Because in some people's cases, their great grandma voted for somebody that's still there. So
exactly. I know.
This person implemented this law and everybody was like, good. And you're blaming for doing their job, the job that you elected them to do. And they're trying to say, well, look here, if you drop some charges here and there, because no one talks about the backdoor deals, backroom deals that's happening. They only talk about this, what's going on at the time. This is how I feel at the time. I think that this, okay, got it. But look at what their job entails. Joe Biden making national policies. If you go into federal jail, first and foremost, if you're going to jail because the federal government got you, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. The federal government loses cases at like a 6 to 7% clip, which means if they tell you they fit to send you to jail, you going to jail today.
Exactly.
Today, it's not even a question. So blame that man for something he implemented and someone used in a way that they were already the cards are already stacked against you. They don't have to pull up as much of a reasonable doubt as you do with your local law enforcement or local court system. Because the federal government, man, if they told you, hey, we got you on surveillance, which is a 5 to 7 year sentence. Top of it, we got this, and this. If you go into the jail and you know they got you on TV, what's the first thing you're gonna do? Well, what's the minimum I can do? Who can I talk to or tell somebody about? If you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times in a row, there's not something I can do for you. So we have to we need to be measured in how upset we are at Joe Biden for a federal system that Black people voted for, Black men and women voted for.
Yep.
So I get, I want to be mad at Joe, but I can guarantee you it's some of them other characters that's sitting up on that stage that you talking about. They was voting for it too. And people can bring up, well, Bernie Sanders said no. If the Democrats lost 5 seats in the House of Representatives because of the word socialist, true. You're saying you lost 5 seats because of the word socialist. You really think that you were going to survive a presidential election with a president nominee, with a Democratic nominee or any nominee with the word socialist hitched to it? Either Donald Trump is going to be your next president again, or Democrat person going to win by some luck of the draw. So people, you got to stop being singular in our thought patterns and our thought process. Because you may have wanted Bernie Sanders to be your president. Come on, the socialist thing was not. Yeah, the socialist part was not going to get people on board.
Not at all.
It's just honestly happen. And when people don't do that, I'm like, okay, then Check out some of your people that lost their races, especially in Florida. He
Mm-hmm.
were socialist. Those
Right.
Cuban sect down there, they came from a country where God believed that socialism was the best practice since sliced bread. Or
Mm-hmm.
either that or humans started breathing out, whichever one
Right.
came first. That's what he believed. And
Right.
they don't like that word because they associate it with Fidel Castro. Now imagine
Exactly.
that's Miami. Trying to get the president don't have nothing to do with Russia, but they telling you that everybody's socialist. That's a Democrat. You gotta be harder than the people that you're going up against. So
Right.
I,
That's
I
so
think that
true.
vindication, to an extent, for half of the country that felt like, man, we cannot let this fool continue to govern us, or not govern, represent us. And
Represent us. We look like fools to other countries. We look ridiculous. And what really I think upset me the most was you had people who were of high stature, like influencers and things like that, who were saying or sharing some of the most ridiculous stuff. Oh, this who you want in office? Oh, look at her record. And I'm like, well, who do you recommend instead of telling us that something's wrong with her? And my thing is, y'all not too bright either. Because what you just explained was, here it is that you have influence over people. People will listen to what you say, but you go and share her record of how many black men she done locked up. But did the black men do the crime? Number one. Number two, do you not know that your job is to do your job? Half of y'all on y'all jobs giving out free discounts that you ain't supposed to. Half of y'all on your job ain't doing stuff that, you're doing stuff that you don't like. But that's a part of your job.
Exactly. And that's what I think we have to kind of, one of the things that for the last couple of weeks, listening to a lot of people, this came over, it was either Karen Hunter or Clay Kane I was listening to. And pretty much what they were saying was, our issue is, if you look at everyone else, if you look at the Jewish culture, the Asian culture, be it Chinese, Japanese, or Korean in this country, you look at the white culture. You look at those cultures from different countries in Africa that come here, and Europe that come here. They come here and they go to a place and they establish a culture much like the one they left.
Right.
We don't have that. And so what we do is we searching. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find it. And so what we readily, like I was telling my wife the other day, proximity to something lends itself for you to emulate it or to try to do it. Our proximity to the culture of what has been instituted in this country makes us try to always emulate. Oh, you know what? They talking about having this. They talking about doing this. We got to do this. Okay. First and foremost, why? The second thing is the part of the culture that we keep trying to tell one another to emulate, we refuse to do, which is band together.
Yep.
You said, hey, I don't care how wrong Barack Obama is on something, just back him. We can handle that other stuff. We can handle how he wrong we can handle it behind closed doors. Don't nobody need to know that, but we can still back him. You may not like this candidate. You may not like this person. You may not like what this person is saying. Back the person. Talk about it behind closed doors. Make sure you get a change or some kind of resolution, and then you still come in front and you say, okay, well, they're still my person. Don't do that. What we do?
No. We was the main one.
Yeah. Let me tell this person now. That's in our culture. That's our culture now. Because we feel like in order to get up somewhere, we got to tell somebody. Somebody got to come down for me to go up.
Somebody got to come down. Yeah. We can't all go up together. No.
Right. I feel like that's one of those things that has to change, because if it doesn't, we aren't going to get any progress. Not the way we want it. We're going to get, something's going to happen. Yeah. we're not gonna get progress the way we want it. What's gonna end up happening is you want to look like you want to emulate the culture that you have an issue with. Do you really want to do those things? No.
Right.
It wouldn't be about how your bank account, what kind of clothes
Yeah.
you got, your house is, how many cars you have. It didn't come down to that. And if you're going to be about a person's civil, individual rights, then you need to be about that all the time, to include in how you carry and conduct yourself when it comes to business,
Yeah.
or governments, or anything like that. So that's just me, though. I'm crazy. No.
Well, I guess I'm crazy too, because I agree with you 1,000%. I felt like we could have handled that better. What I am glad about, though, Roberto, is that people didn't listen to a lot of them. That people did their own research. So that's why I named this "Why Your Vote Matters." The next person who tell me they vote don't matter, I'm gonna hit them in their throat. I'm saying that publicly, because this election showed you, point blank, period, that your vote matters. We came out and voted in droves, okay?
Yeah.
People were voting. I mean, older people was like, hey, I'm gonna put this mask on. You know, I think they made more accommodations for people to be able to vote too. But your vote matters. This election proved, I mean, let's be real. 2016 proved that your vote matters, because half of us stayed home.
Almost everybody stay home.
Yeah.
Apparently everybody stay home. You going out? Nah, I'm just
Yeah.
seeing Hillary will win some kind of way. You know, that in 2018, when the state of Alabama voted for, I think his name's Doug Jones, to replace what's the attorney general name that Trump appointed? Jeff Sessions. That in itself proved two things. One, your vote does count. Every vote counts. And two,
every vote. Yes.
I think it's one of those. But now, if you get it, if you really, really pay attention to it, you couldn't not vote for nobody. Right? I really want to be the president. Because there is something about, even I get that I hate Trump. Not lost an election. So somebody believes that she's qualified. I get that people are like, well, but California is a state of liberals. I'll buy that for $1. I'll buy that for $1. I'll buy it for $1. But this is the same state that when Republicans ran it, and you wonder why why the gun laws are so restrictive. Yeah, that's when Republicans were liberal. But also, if I'm looking for a confident person, of which we had a lot of candidates, Joe Biden won because who else had that name? You can say, if I say Obama, you can say what name behind it? Joe Biden. You'll say Biden. We thought that you could say Clinton. Apparently not.
Yeah. I know, right?
Apparently not.
I know.
That name recognition and that policy direction apparently works for a lot of people. And I think what we have to kind of figure out going forward is, first and foremost, we should be on the fifth step, not the first. And we need to figure out what's our way forward.
Right.
Georgia, I know that the talking heads on television would love to say the Senate should stay Republican held to have a check on the Democrats and the president. Here's what I know. The last time a Democratic president attempted to work with a Republican-led Senate, it didn't work out so good. It just didn't. Now, I don't know if that was because of certain situations or whatever, but
we back. Okay, I don't know what happened.
You lost yourself? You found you.
It was scrolling. I was like, "Oh, we talking about Trump? He done something to the platform."
No, he ain't do nothing to the platform. But no, the last time we had a Republican Senate and a Democratic president, it didn't work out too well for us.
At all.
And now I feel like there should be a change, first and foremost. Yes, there should be a change. But at the same time, we have to be honest with ourselves about what the direction is and how we want to move going forward. Because if we're not, what end up happening, you don't want to sow the seed of discord, either on accident or on purpose, based on, oh, well, they did this, so we just gonna vote all Republicans in so we could turn things over. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to reach across the aisle. You want to be able to have some kind of dialogue with the Republican Party and the Republican Party to the Democratic Party. Now, I will say this. One of the things that should be happening ASAP is y'all should be talking about term limits.
Like, please, can we? Because I know it's a few here in Texas. They've been here since my children probably been born. It's time for you to go sit down somewhere.
Yeah. You should talk about term limits first and foremost. The second thing you should say is, if you are no longer, there is no such thing as retiring from Congress or Senate. Like, you run that one. I'm in there like swimwear. If I get a couple of, if your health care ain't up to par when you leave and you croak, welcome to America. You don't want to give everybody else health care. I hope you got enough money to cover your own.
Cover your own health care.
Don't know this. If Mitch McConnell stopped right now, if he was defeated, he has enough tenure in the Senate to pretty much, quote unquote, retire.
Right.
And get your taxpayer money for health care for the rest of his life.
For the rest of his life.
You know, now I volunteered for 20 years. I ain't gonna say I gave up. I volunteered for 20 years. Appreciate y'all, contributing to my health care. I appreciate it. But I actually had to do something. I'm not saying that Mitch McConnell ain't doing nothing, but
I'm gonna say,
I'm not saying the other 100 or 99 folks ain't doing that, but I'm not saying the 435 or in the representative not doing anything.
Yeah.
But just saying. So I think that's one of those things, and for me, that's not conservative or liberal, progressive, and all that. Those are, hey, you can save some money if y'all stop giving them raises.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
I'll take care of them after they leave.
Yes.
I get it. Mitch McConnell is the richest senator. You mean to tell me you don't got enough money to cover your health care?
That's what I'm saying. And you need to sit down anyway. Oh, he make me sick. Oh, I'm just so over them. And that's the thing. So this is what I want to talk about now. So I've had people tell me, oh, you're so excited about, Joe Biden being president. Well, maybe, he'll help Black people because Obama didn't help Black people. And I said, he didn't. He helped all people. He was the president of the people. So what is your take on that stupid thing that people say? Because again, I don't feel like because he was Black, he was supposed to get in there and do a whole lot of stuff for Black people. I felt like first of all, most of us didn't even vote for him. So let me just go and put that out there. We didn't even show up to vote, number one. But then you say he wasn't a president for Black people. Well, I agree. I do agree. But I do agree that he was a president for all people. What's your take on that?
Well, one, it isn't president of the white United States or the president of Black United States or president of
right.
It is POTUS, President of the United States.
Right. Right.
V, y'all can Google what V stands for. It's probably
just saying. I cannot. I cannot.
Some people don't English very well. Like, me before I started going to school, I didn't English real good. I was horrible at English. For real. President of the United States in 1993 meant, oh, dude ain't Black. He ain't my president. He got Black people tendencies. He smoke a little weed now and then, but right. He ain't president. That's just still, it's still white people. Here's a logical explanation. 14% of the population of the U.S. population is Black. Now I'm pull my phone up. I'm just look up what 14% of 330 million people is, because let me see. That's 46 million people. 46 million of y'all can't vote. Let's go ahead and be honest about that. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
If this was the largest amount of people that ever voted in the presidency, like 73 million, so about 140 million people voted.
Right.
You got 46 million people. So you can get somebody voted in, but you can't necessarily vote somebody in by yourself.
Right.
65% of these people voted during the 2008, 2012. So let's see what 65% of that is. 30 million people voted.
Yeah.
If you really think that your 30 million folk can get somebody voted in nationally,
right?
All 50 states and the territories and maybe the people in outer space. I got some land in Tahiti I need to sell you.
Look, I said it to you.
For real. Just go ahead. Hey, you can have my bank account and my routing number. I need money on time. We have to get, again, that's enough people to get someone voted. That part's true. It's not enough to vote someone in on your own. I want to say the number for Barack Obama ended up being about 68 million, somewhere around. So we had to go out and vote. We still have to go out and vote. But that number, let's just take the 30 million number I just gave you. If over 70 million people voted for Joe Biden, and I take 30 million away from that, Joe Biden ain't president of the United States. If I take 15% of that from Joe Biden ain't president of the United States. So your vote counts. Selective, individually, your vote counts still. But the notion of, well, Donald Trump came up with a platinum plan.
Kanye plan.
I'm saying this out of love. This is not 1997, 1998.
Thank you.
Daddy is not doing the shiny suit man, and we're not talking about money, cars, clothes, women, men in women cases, or even men in men cases. You know how it is. We ain't talking about any of that stuff. We ain't talking about. That's not what we're talking about. And you're not gonna get reparations, y'all. Reparations. If he ain't talking about reparations, what's in it for us? What's in it for us?
Nothing.
We can stop thinking about. I'm gonna say this again. The problem ain't the problem. The problem is your attitude. about the problem.
Exactly.
I'm not. If I'm out here trying to do stuff, well, I'm trying to get. I'm trying to make it come up the same way they making it come up. That's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But before you do that, I need you to read the 48 Laws of Power, because one of them laws say everybody should know what you're trying to do. Everybody should know what you're trying to do, because if everybody know what you're trying to do, they can stop you from doing it.
Right.
You got to tell everybody. We need to stop telling people what it is we trying to do, what it is we want. Well, we want reparations. You don't want reparations. If you want people to give you reparations, you need to package it up in a nice little present so they look like you ain't getting reparations when you actually are getting reparations.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Should school be free? Nah, let's not make school free. But watch this. What if I told you if you went to school for some specific jobs that the government not only would hire you after you finish your school, but they would pay for your school? Notice there's still a shortage of nurses and doctors.
Yep.
I mean,
Sure.
it's a shortage. And trust me, if the federal government say, hey, you know what, for a period of 10 years, we'll subsidize your teaching fee. So instead of making $50,000, you'll make $80,000. Our request is that you invest wisely with some of that money. That's all.
Right.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna be making $8,000 a year for the first 5 years, and I'm not paying the government back. Let me get in on some. We don't think about that.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
Everybody don't want to be the police. I got it. Everybody don't want to be the police. I got you. But I see a whole lot of people sitting outside talking about I ain't got no job. You can go patrol your own area. I'm not telling you that to be the next Scarface or the next trying to run your neighborhood.
Yeah, we don't need that.
That's what I'm telling you. But it's amazing how if you're from a place, you already speak the language. They already know you.
They already know who you are.
You got buy-in. You got buy-in. Automatic buy-in. So why wouldn't you want to be the patrolman or the police officer in the place you're from, talking to the knuckleheads you already know, get them to understand the outlook that we all trying to get to, and be like, oh, you know what? This makes sense. You know what we can do? We can do X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
Really? No,
you already built a rapport, and they respect you.
For real, you done had a rapport since kindergarten.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Since tetherball, basketball court. Now, granted, I know everybody can't be a police officer. Some people just grimy and slimy. I got it. But it's enough. There are enough people that I love my community. I'm not moving out. I'm just having a hard time finding a job.
Right.
It ain't hard finding a job when they got one already. You can't. We keep trying to build our community up the wrong way. Like Jay-Z say, I don't have to move out of the hood physically. I got to move out of the hood.
Mentality. That's right.
I can stay.
But we don't want to take the steps. Like, we don't want to do the work to what it needs to be. We are, those of us who are entrepreneurs, we didn't get there overnight if you're doing it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to build to that. You have to, like, you know, do your due diligence. But we don't want to do that. We want to just go ahead, give me my 40 acres and a mule. What you gonna do with it when you get it? What's your plan?
You know what I'll do when I get it. You know what I'm gonna do with it. Nothing. The same thing I'm doing with it from the jump. And that's what we got, and we have to change that mentality. Like I said, I'm not against your kids playing football, your kids playing baseball, basketball. I'm not against that. But everyone has to recognize, though those things are character building and they help build a team, they help build team camaraderie, and it lets you know, hey, at least I can be a part of a team.
Right.
We also need, again, we still need other things.
Yeah.
I know she'll talk about it here soon. I had no idea. Just found this out literally before we started talking. This is the last thing me and my wife were talking about. Leukemia. I didn't know only black people can give black people bone marrow for leukemia.
I didn't know that either.
So she's gonna make a whole post about us being aware of that and going to, being donors and stuff. I was like, what?
Right.
So you mean tell me? Wait, but
Right.
white people, black people can give it to white people, but it's something in our DNA that prevents white people from giving it to us. I don't know what it is. I was like, what about what about
You
letting
like what?
what about this?
But that's something to be aware of.
But again, that's something that we should be aware of, because if
Right.
leukemia, you thinking I'm gonna get on this national registry. Well, the national registry went from this to,
Yeah.
and you may not be able to
Yeah.
find nobody to match you. So it's those things that, little nuggets of stuff that if we when we put our best foot forward, we always succeed. We
We do.
always shine. We always outdo whatever the expectation is.
That was evident. This election.
There's nothing that I can sit here and tell you, oh, we can do everything except this. No, we can do everything and more.
Yeah.
We need to stop believing in, well, the system and this. You can create your own system.
Sure can.
You don't have to let everybody know they're doing it.
Yep.
Your own communities. You can build your own communities. I don't have to know what you're doing. We keep trying to include. But first and foremost, before you can get somebody to do something with you, I'm gonna need you to be successful at alone.
Yeah. Oh, we trying to be.
Everybody's not gonna just jump on it.
Yeah, we want to be seen before the work is done.
Exactly. Hey, can you help? Well, first and foremost, it's enough for y'all to help yourself.
Exactly.
One United, one Main. What I think is One Main United or One United Main. Only black bank in America.
Oh yeah, the one that Killer Mike, is that the one?
No, that's another one. That's a totally different one. Before Killer Mike came, that's a different one. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a different one. And Hispanics have one, Asians have one, Jewish people have one, white people have several, as you all know. But again, for me, it's not. And people be like, well, it's almost racist. That isn't racist to say. Everyone has one except us. We haven't had one until recently. How is that racist? We talking about facts. Like my coach say, you either have facts or you have issues.
Yeah. Right. That's what it is. That's true.
We don't have to rehash facts. We got to hash out issues. So that issues either become facts or issues are, that's not really an issue. So in some form of fashion, you have to get an issue to be factual in some shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah.
We have a lot of issues that we like to be, okay, well, listen, guess what? Two things can be true. Black people can have a problem with institutional racism. And people can be killing ourselves with black on black crime. Now, black on black crime is a myth, but I can be the person killing 500 or 2,000 or so black people a year, and they just look like me, which is at a higher clip than white homicide. That can be true. What's the reason behind it? Some of those reasons we can mitigate. We don't have to wait for law enforcement to do that. We can mitigate some of those things. I'm not saying it's going to help all things. It's not going to do that. But we can mitigate some of those problems. How? First and foremost, we gotta be involved. We gotta be involved. But
yeah, we definitely need to do that. Yes.
When you check out 2016, I'm talking about you. When you check out, you see what happened. When you check in 2020, you see what happens.
You see what happened. You see what happened. So look how it showed up.
Yeah. You have to be strategic in what you do and don't show up for. Don't not show up for election.
Yeah, we can't. We
Yeah.
can't. Yeah. And look what happened when we did show up. I mean, not only did, we have people, Black women, who are such an integral part of this election turning, flipping states. They were important to flipping states. Some of us went and got the information. Not all that false mess other people were sharing, talking about she did this, he did this, and this, that, and the other. Listen, I forgot who that was shared it, which I wasn't gonna say the name anyway, but he was sharing stuff and was, Kamala's record and all the Black men she incarcerated. It's nothing that them two have done that you can hold up against all the mess that Donald Trump done. So just go and sit down somewhere with all that, because regardless of that, you can't hold up her record and Joe's record to all the stuff that Donald Trump done.
Right. And that's what people, like I said, people love watching the news, but doing the research. And I can sit there and tell you, Google is a wonderful thing, but man, Google can take you down a rabbit hole.
A whole rabbit hole.
It'll be 10 o'clock tonight. You'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna just go tomorrow and just looking at
news. Yes. Because,
again, we have to kind of come to peace with statistics and numbers aren't always the same.
Right.
If I tell you 82% of Black men, that's not a lot. I mean, that's a lot of Black men. That's not a lot of the population. If I say 82% of Black people, that's okay. That's 82% of 14%. That's not a lot. Now, we have to be careful when we start using percentages compared to number. Percentages will be higher, numbers will be lower, and then context, you'll be like, oh man, we talking about this much. We ain't talking about this much. We talking about this much. We have to be wiser when we present things. Because it'll be like, well, she put this many people in jail and just, okay, how many people that's in jail that that were put in jail by her, whose sentence was overturned due to DNA evidence or whatever?
Exactly.
If you tell me if her number is on par with everybody else and it's like 2% less than that actually, then I'm gonna be like, you need to go sit down, go sit down.
Have a seat.
Go have several seats.
Please.
Mandatory minimum. Okay, she was a district attorney. Well, she was an assistant district attorney.
Yeah.
Attorney. She's attorney general. She was senator. So which mandatory minimums we talking about? We talk about the state of California. She don't get to make that choice. All she can do is enforce the law. She is part of the criminal justice system.
Exactly.
I can't tell you, oh, you're not going to serve a mandatory minimum. It's the law. The only person that can flip that over is a judge. She's not a judge. So
that's right.
Knowing what the role, I was speaking to one of my sons about that today. What is the role of the district attorney?
Right.
So if somebody tell you going to jail forever, well, she didn't have to prosecute.
Really?
You about to lose your job.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She don't have a choice.
You about to lose your job. No, it ain't gonna be no get this dance. It's gonna be like get your stuff.
Get your stuff and get out. It's gonna be an Angela Bassett moment. Get your stuff.
Yeah. It's gonna be a definitely Angela Bassett moment.
And get out.
For real. We have to be smarter than that. We need to be. We have to be more informed than that. If you're gonna go on and you're gonna be like, I'm turning on MSNBC, CNN, and I'm gonna watch, and I'm gonna be like, that's wrong. That's wrong. What does the law say?
Exactly.
You and what the law says are two totally different things. I might feel that the law is wrong. That's understandable. But if I hire you to do a job to the letter of the law and you do it to the best of your ability, then I can't be mad at you if the law is unfair and you won't do anything to change it other than sit here and watch the news. If y'all don't do that, they're not going to change it.
They're not going to change it by that. Exactly.
They're not going to change it. Matter of fact, turn your TV. Everybody, if you watch it, turn your TV on. Tell the person that's on the TV to do something.
And see what happened.
Did it work? If it did, run out your house right now.
Like right now. Like don't even stop.
Oh run out your house right now. Insurance will pay for it. But run out your house right now. Set your house on fire. Run out your house right now. It ain't supposed to do
run that. Right now. And that's the part that just kills me about us. Like we just really, really don't make no sense. So let's talk about the foolery for these last few minutes we got. We're gonna talk about the foolery that we done seen. First, we're gonna talk about the foolery of this election even being so close, and then your girl calling dispatching angels, and then want to pull up. What? I don't get it. I don't understand the foolishness that transpired in this election.
Again, if you have not watched that Dave Chappelle monologue from Saturday,
go watch it.
Because what he said was, one, be a humble winner, but he's like, you still have work to do, because the way that half of the country felt in 2016 when Trump was elected president, that almost exact same half feel the exact same way.
Yep.
And although you as individuals may hate that other person, I hate that feeling. In 2016, I didn't even have a feeling about it. I'm pretty sure, I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Because I was about to go to Africa. I was about to go to Burkina Faso again. So I didn't
be here.
I wasn't. I mean, I didn't have any animosity toward Donald Trump, because in my mind I was like, you know what? He could be. What president does not have character flaws? And he could actually listen to the people that he placed around him, his advisors. Now, when I actually did a dive into some of his advisors, I was like, nah, some of these people cannot be your advisors, pimp.
They can't even teach your kids.
Satan can't be one of your number one and number two advisors and be like,
thank you.
Come on, Eve, just eat the apple. It's okay. I don't want you to eat the apple because you're gonna the other advisor can't be your kid. I'm pretty sure Jeremiah loved to death I love my 13-year-old. I'm pretty sure he told me some pretty dumb stuff. And I'm just like, okay, all right, buddy. Nah, they can't do that, but okay. And I know people be like, but you're talking about a 13-year-old compared to his grown kids who run businesses and did this and this and this.
Bankrupt businesses.
Listen, I ain't even talking about the bankrupt part. Here's the thing.
I can't be petty, my bad. I forgot.
Just because you are successful one way,
right,
doesn't inherently mean you're gonna be successful another way. So if you got people in China, you go talk to this shoemaker in China, and you like, I need my shoes on time, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You go to the factory and you see little kids, old women, people getting beat over the head. That ain't your business. That's probably what this is China, not America. We run our business the way we want to.
Right.
When you come back to America and you say, well, we don't have these things happening. Well, one, you don't live in China. But when you're not able to figure out, hey, those two things aren't mutually inclusive and they're totally exclusive of each other, but you're still getting your stuff from China. I'm not telling you you're a person. I'm telling you are knowledgeable of the circumstances in which you are dealing in.
Right.
If you go to the White House and you've never dealt in anything political, but you think you have because you've been talking to China and I've been talking to Russia. I've been talking to Germany. I done went to the president. There are things that those people as national leaders do not talk to you about because they don't care about your opinion. Why?
Exactly.
You in hotels. You not in hood.
hotels that couldn't even get the location of his press conference right. But I ain't gonna say nothing about
You
that.
know what? When you put the next to the strip club now, the store, I was like, wait a minute. Y'all
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere giving press conferences. I know somebody's like, this up is in trouble. But again, that half of that country, the half of the country that understood that in 2016, imagine the half of the country that don't understand that now, or that say, well, no, I do understand that. No, you don't. No, you don't.
You don't.
It is the difference between if I say, hey, can you go talk to your pastor at this church? And you're like, yeah, I know pastor such and such. And then I put you in, can you go talk to the British prime minister? Or can you go talk to the Russian president? Or can you go talk to the Korean president? Or can you go talk to the German prime minister? That's a different conversation. Because first and foremost,
a different one. Yes.
I'm gonna need you to either have some advisors or you're gonna need some, or you're gonna have to have some kind of firsthand knowledge or something that allows you to be engaging, yet not come off as aloof or stupid.
But you need to be intelligent and know what you're talking about. He had a cabinet of people. First of all, the turnover rate for people in his cabinet was just utterly ridiculous. He just fired somebody today. I'm like, you shouldn't be firing nobody because you fired. But he didn't fire somebody today.
Yeah.
So everybody around him was just even worse than him. Like, he didn't even put people smarter than him around him.
Well, he tried, but he didn't want to listen to him.
Who was smart?
You figure any what's his name? Not Masters. I can't think of his two generals he had with him. I can't even think of their names at this point.
He didn't listen to them. Now Ben Carson got COVID with his. I ain't gonna say nothing about him.
Now the irony in Ben Carson getting COVID is Ben Carson is I know he's a brain surgeon or whatever it is.
Yes.
You still had to go to school.
You still had to get the basics, dog. Like,
but that's still ironic. It was ironic, but not ironic because Ben Carson don't come out.
It's worse to me than old boy who died from it, who was talking all that noise about it. Like, oh,
Herman Cain.
Yes.
Again, sometimes it pays to be smarter than the person that you endorse in some shape, form, or fashion. But again, you have to kind of look at what's in it for me if this dude get reelected president.
Mm-hmm.
What's in it for me if this dude?
Nothing.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling you that it makes sense. I'm just telling you the logic behind it and the logic behind people doing it is sound up to a point, and then your point it's a total cliff because COVID can kill you, as we see. COVID can.
We've seen that.
It ain't gonna knock you. It'll knock you out in some cases, and in other cases, it keep you out. So
right.
I think that people, like again, to address the stupidness, you have to be able to address the psyche of the people that are. Part of that is education, and either that's a lack of education or an unwillingness to educate themselves. The next one is some people just don't care.
Yeah. Period. Not at all. I mean, and I think for me, what really set me back was, okay, so when in 2016, I went to bed, Hillary had been won. Okay, she had been won. She had a lead. She was good. I wake up to Donald Trump
being
president.
He the man.
And I'm trying to understand. So, yeah, we were mad. A lot of us, I'm looking at my memories and I'm like, oh, I was mad that day. I was big mad that day. This day, 2016, November 9th, I was mad. So then we fast forward. I'm at the hairdresser. My daughter say, Mama, you know Joe won, right? And I'm like, no, because I had stopped looking, Roberto. Like, I was just tired. Like, I'm not going to even look no more. Here we are here all we ain't got no daddy. Like, we just unsupervised. Like, we don't even know what's going on. And so from the moment the man got announced, here come the foolery. This helper dispatcher, I don't know, she was dispatcher angels before that. Let me not lie on her. She dispatched your angels from Africa and South America. Your girl Paula White. Then you had them at the Clark County Elections Department praying. I don't know what
they had her in the building like.
Yes, we didn't do none of that stuff. No, we was not happy.
First and foremost, we don't play with the Lord like that. Well, I mean,
we don't play with the Lord like
that. It's not supposed to go down like that. Some of us,
we know we get knocked the hell out.
But the majority of us do not play like that with the Lord. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, again, America, if this is played again, I appreciate you. America, you have an issue. You have an issue on education. You have an issue on truth.
Yep.
You have an issue on empathy and sympathy. You got 4 issues.
Mm-hmm.
You need to address all 4 of those issues, not with the government, not with the news media. You need to address that with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No way in this universe, in this dimension,
right,
you can tell me I got a black friend and know what that means. Or say, I think that I'm upset my mom and dad's healthcare went up. Your mom and dad are retirees, whatever they are, they don't work.
Right.
Where their premium was $120 and now it's $340, they can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
You got issues. And the issues stem from you're listening to your senators or your congressmen and women, be that state or federal, right? Listening to these people, and these people aren't in the same. They ain't in the same boat as you. Hell, I'm in the same boat as you.
Yeah,
I'm not that stupid. You cannot continue. I'm just being honest.
That's the truth.
You cannot continue to be stupid to things like, why is healthcare important? Well, healthcare is important for a myriad of reasons, but the first reason, promote the general welfare, which in layman's term, to make it real plain, what's best for everybody?
Right.
What's best?
Right.
What's
every single person?
I may not like it, but it's this for everybody, not just your pockets, not just his pocket, not just your mama's or your daddy's or your grandma's, my friend, everyone's pockets.
Not to mention there's countries where universal health care exists.
And here's the thing. One, universal health care is kind of impossible here for 2 reasons. One, we do not have, the healthcare stability that we need. We need more hospitals, more nurses, more doctors, more healthcare people overall. We talking about 330 million people, and it's probably more than that after this census.
Yeah, it's probably more than that once they finish.
I'm gonna go with 350. It's probably about 353. So 350 million people. You don't have a 350 million people healthcare system. Your prices go up and down depending on how many people actually pay money. When the government tells you, I'm going to do something for everybody, you don't give a better rate than the government. You don't. Yeah. Now, the reason why I say that is you may not get a better, let's say you may not get a better retirement plan or X, Y, and Z, but at least you get one. At least you get some places like, I can't even guarantee you're going to get one. That's what you want me to do. So you kind of have to you got to kind of look at it in that same stead. Right. If the government say, at least I'm going to give you some health care, that's different than Red Cross, Blue Cross, or whoever would say, well, I'm going to give you some, but it's going to be like this much. You're going to have to pay like a humongous copay, and don't be dying, because if you're dying,
baby, they can't help you.
Yeah. So we have to be. We got a better again. That comes from better education of what our
Better education. That's true.
so when people when like Paula, tell you when she first and foremost, Paula, if you're looking, if you're listening, I called you today.
Boy.
I got an answering service. They told me I had to press buttons, and even if I pressed the buttons, I didn't get you. Do not in your life tell people that you want to smoke, but then you put up barriers to it.
Ain't you didn't put up a whole filter screen. You
don't filter the smoke. If you want to smoke, people will give you the smoke. But the first thing people are gonna tell you is you can't tell me to render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and then don't tell me the context in which you're saying it. Because here's something I know. God does not necessarily, and I'll say it, I'm going to preface this, God don't necessarily anoint your president or your leader. Mm-hmm. If you look at the Bible, God didn't tell the Israelites that they needed a leader. The Israelites requested one because they wanted to be like everybody else.
That's right.
Or you want a leader, you're okay. What you think about Saul? Yay! That's what y'all want? Yay! Okay. When Saul what you think about David? Yeah, we gonna get David. That's what y'all want. Yay!
Yeah.
That's all he did. That was your. If you said yeah, you're like okay. If you said nah, he's like okay. So he's not anointing. He's like you making the choice of this is who you want. Mm-hmm. So in that same stead, while Paul over there trying to remix prayer, take your behind and vote. You choose the Caesar. You choose. Hey, what did dude say? Who y'all want? Y'all want Jesus or y'all want Barnabas? Oh, you give us the you please don't give us Jesus. We gonna take Barnabas. We taking him for even they gotta. So come on. What is you praying about? Literally, you praying for Donald Trump to stay in power for what reason? For the same reason why I'm watching this show. I'm not gonna tell y'all the name of it. It's just funny to me how the dude is interpreting the Bible to these black people, and I'm like, that's probably how it was going. And this is based in 1866, 1864 time. Well, no, I'm sorry. This is based in like 1850s, 1840s. But it's a white guy trying to tell the slaves what the Bible is supposedly saying. But using it from your viewpoint. You ain't using it from theirs. You ain't using it from the Bibles. You just using it from your viewpoint.
From your viewpoint, yeah.
Don't do that, Paula. Don't go up. Don't do that. Don't
try to ask for smoke because you'll get it.
Don't do that, please.
Yeah.
The Lord gonna bless you with $5 million. That don't say that in the Bible, but it do say, but that's not.
Yeah.
And wealth does not necessarily equate to money and things.
Thank you. And they need to stop with all of that. I saw some posts with people, black people, talking about this. It's gonna be sorrow in January, and those
in January.
Huh?
It's gonna be cold. That's probably why it's gonna be sorrow.
It's gonna be sorrow for somebody, but it won't be sorrow for us. And people want to, black and white, want to equate Trump to God. And I was like, first of all,
God ain't going around cheating on nobody
and grabbing people by the genitals.
God ain't looking for people birth certificates to try to disprove and prove his point.
That's a man of God. I ain't never seen that man at church, but one time when he went with Omarosa and what now Omarosa?
Somebody was dead.
No, he went with Omarosa before she got kicked out the palace. She was riding hard with him, and he went to church with her. That's the one time. The other time was when he stood in front of the church with the Bible upside down. That's somebody that's of God. Is that somebody that's of God? Like, listen, we from They call it Nutbush, Louisiana. We're from Alexandria. We don't play them games like that.
Well, people make excuses for this man. And again, I'm not telling people, I am not telling you have the right to believe what you want to believe. You just don't have a right to make the truth something that it is not.
It is not.
No, this is a cell phone. This is a cell phone, people. This is not a vehicle that I can get in and travel somewhere. I can look up places to go now. I can, I can look up Rome, but I guarantee if I try to go to Rome today, I'm being quarantined forever. Not gonna come back.
You ain't coming back.
Yeah, I ain't gonna come back.
You over there.
Yeah,
you're not coming back.
But you gotta be realistic in what it is that you're attempting to tell people.
Right.
And I don't think Paula was really realistic.
Paula
said the same thing Lindsey Graham said. I need these people to show up tomorrow so I can have a church worth going to so I get this cheese.
So wait a minute. So yesterday, the one time I do leave out the house, I go hang out with my best friend. We see on the monitor, it's the Texans game. I guess they finally won. And it's CNN. It says Trump will not concede.
Okay.
And he is not inviting Biden to the White House.
Okay. Biden went to the White House before already.
Correct.
He didn't know what it looked like. So he don't need to go back. I mean,
he's been there.
Yeah, he been there, done that, and got a couple of t-shirts. He don't. Here's the thing: concession is not a. You don't have to concede a race. You can just be like, man, I'm not gonna talk to y'all. I'm not gonna tweet y'all for the rest of my presidency. Y'all gonna miss that. But in reality, you don't have to concede. You don't.
Right.
He doesn't have to concede, and he doesn't have to invite him to the
that's the credit got him up out of there.
Here's the caveat to that. I think it's December 12th this year. Let me look. I gotta look on my calendar. It's either December 12th or December 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, it's gonna be the 14th. So by December 12th of this year, them votes have to be the electoral college has to go and vote on president. Once they go vote, you ain't got to invite them because the Secret Service has a mandate. Hey, guess what? January we gonna be making plans for this dude to come in here on January, whatever his inauguration date is.
I think it's the 20th.
Is it the 20th? I mean, if it wasn't for COVID, I'd go.
I'm not playing with y'all in COVID. That is real.
I'm not going up there. It's gonna be organized in Washington D.C. And everybody gonna be out there without a mask on, talking about some we happy to get COVID. But
you gonna be happy with COVID.
You can be happy outside. Full disclosure, my birthday on the 22nd. So instead of getting Joe something, because you can't get the president of the United States and the vice president.
There you go.
You can get a humble citizen like myself. Anything that you like, I can put my cash up y'all. But
you play
come after December, once the Electoral College puts their voting, all votes have to be certified by November 20th. Certified.
Right.
The states have to, the Republicans and Democrats of each state that voted, whichever way they voted, has to come up with their nominations for who's going up for their Electoral College votes. And they have to go in. This is who I voted for.
I voted for. Y'all saw it live when it was, what's his name? Al Gore. No. We saw it kind of up close and personal with Al Gore, where everybody was like, when he had to really do the count, which I thought was awesome. I felt so bad for him.
I didn't feel bad for that man.
I felt bad.
We talking about another age. We talking about you got to put your vote on a piece of paper and you got hanging chads and all
Yeah,
that.
they did
We talking about other stuff.
have to do it
But,
like that. They did.
That's a different. And that's because somebody was like, it's kind of the same. And nah, it's not even. It's not even
No.
because this is what 3 Arizona, Nevada.
Wait, Nevada finished? They finished?
I don't know, they still might be like that little running dude, that little meme posted, that little kid
I'm
running.
like,
But I think they did.
like 2000. Yeah, in 2000.
Those
Yeah.
we're talking about thousands of votes as compared to in Florida. It ended up being like a couple hundred votes or whatever.
It was a couple of hundred or so. Yeah.
But again, the court case behind it is different. Yeah, it's different. But once the electoral,
you knowing you lost and talking about can you do a recount so you can re-lose? Is that what you want? Because even Fox News said, well, if the recount happens, normally it's by a couple of thousand or so.
100 votes. Yeah, it's not by let's say I think he's up like. Not sure how far he's up in Georgia, but I want to say he's up by like 7,000 votes. So if he's up by like 7,000 votes in Georgia, right? At most, probably it is 100 to 200 votes thrown out or swung. That's it. Right. Which means I'm still up by about 7,000 votes.
Still up. Like, sit down, y'all.
And I know people like he's got court cases. So here's the merit of court cases. I'm telling you this because I just learned this in the last couple of weeks. It's Con Law 1. I gotta take Con Law 2 next semester. What you can challenge is the manner in which the state allows a vote to be cast. So in Pennsylvania, if they said you can take votes all the way up to this date, but after this date or for whatever reason, you can't take these votes and count them towards. If they did that, you have a case. But in the state of Michigan, if they say, look, the last day you can have you can have your vote come in is by the 10th of November, as long as it's mailed by the 3rd of November, we still gonna count your vote. You up a creek without a doubt, because the states determine their voter laws.
That's why those judges was cooking it out.
So now in the Supreme Court, what they told them was when you can't bring a case up that has not happened.
Right.
So it's ripeness. So you brought a case up that may happen, may not happen. They told him his case was too ripe. If after the election, this is you think that this happened, you can bring it back and we will look at it to see if
look at it. Yeah.
Make a judgment. So in Pennsylvania, he got a gripe, but they've already addressed his other stupid gripes. Well, you said these people have to stand this far back. First and foremost, do you want somebody on you with a mask on with COVID talking about some? I think that's a vote for Joe.
Oh, and what about the people they talking about that was dead that they cast votes or something?
So the dead people vote. This is how I know the dead people vote, and they've already dismissed that claim too. In South Carolina, you have to take your voter ID is actually. Let me show y'all.
Because they be lying about everything.
They scan the back of your card.
When
they scan the back of your card, your address pops up.
Right.
The place that you go vote. And it tells them whether or not you are authorized or not authorized to vote here. If I go somewhere else,
on the back of our driver's license,
and I scan that card, they're gonna look at me and say, "You don't know where you're supposed to go to vote at?" Maybe. You need to go around the corner from where you live. Oh, okay, cool. And you can look this stuff up too, and they send you mail telling you where to go. Now, if you dead, let's go ahead and I'm gonna be honest with you.
You did not have to say that like that.
I'm dead, and somebody did. Let's because I think Jeremiah look more like me than Emmanuel does. But let's go with Jeremiah. Jeremiah come up and he like, this is me right here. And they like, you got to give it to them. What's your address? Okay. What year were you born? All right. Look, now if they have a question on whether or not that's me, you can also ask for another form of ID.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that. And I'm good with that, especially because you know full well. I know that people be like, black people give people favors. Man, I'm not going to let you go vote for nobody dead. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest. You know full well. What's your name? Spell it. What's your address? Because you don't look like this person in the picture. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with you. I'm gonna be 100 with you. You don't look like this person in the picture. And there are enough people at the voting place that they looking. Hey, he look like he about cheap dead. Come on, now. I think one of those things that he even started a commission in 2017 after to look up voter misconduct. They disbanded and was like, hey man, so I'm gonna need you to calm down on that voter misconduct stuff because that voter fraud stuff ain't happening in the numbers you talking about. So we just gonna quietly disband and we're gonna put that away. Don't say nothing about that again. And then you bring it up 3 years later, as if it's we know it's gonna happen. People are gonna vote via mail and cheat. No one's gonna cheat during the mail because there are parameters that prevent people from doing it.
Yeah. If I didn't know that many parameters in place.
If you vote twice, you want. First of all, I know people don't want to hear this. If vote twice and watch what happens. Vote twice and watch what happens. Vote twice. Yeah. Vote one time and then goes on and vote again. Watch what happens. The federal government will come see you. Probably the state. Oh, and just in case y'all don't know this, the state can stick you in jail for 20 years, and the federal government can stick another years on top of that.
Right.
It's legal. And they'll be like, yeah, we got you for voter fraud. She got 40 years for voter fraud, but this dude ain't get but 20 years for drunk driving. Hey, look here. What I said. They can get you twice.
They can get you twice. State and federal. Yeah. Yep.
The more you know about the system of government in which you live in, the less you are to do stupid stuff that'll get you sent to jail.
And then you up against some minimums and all other stuff that y'all want to claim that Kamala and everybody else did.
And now I'm sitting here like, did you not listen to the girl singing, "You about to lose your job, get this dance"? Did you not listen to this? That song should be going off in your brain whenever you
that should be our theme song.
I got you some idea. You're about to lose your job.
Like for real. You're sitting in jail. And Fed time is day to day.
I mean, you could get a good, nice federal penitentiary. You could get a bad one. All I'm saying is you don't want to go to jail for something as stupid as voter fraud. I get that. I didn't understand. And the provisional ballots, don't get me started on provisional ballots. This is why I don't like provisional ballots. Well, this is why I think this is my issue with voting in general. One, no matter what state you live in or territory, everybody should be voting and have the same parameters to vote everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Full stop. The reason why you don't is so they can find ways, pretty much voter suppression.
Mm-hmm.
It is easier for me to have a concealed carry permit and go to Texas with that same said concealed carry permit from South Carolina and concealed carry my weapon and it be honored in Texas than it is for me to vote.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go to Texas and vote. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, if it's a presidential election, you shout out, you might want to do something.
No, I ain't do it.
We need to change the parameters by which we vote nationally for at least the president and your representatives.
Right.
We have enough technology to make it happen. Now, locally, I get it. Because ain't no way I'm gonna be in Alexandria, Louisiana, talking about trying to vote for the mayor of Somerville. You'd be like, I'm not supposed to look that stuff up for you, man. Go home. If you're trying to vote for the mayor of Somerville, go home.
Right. You need to go home and vote. Yeah.
But national, it ain't that. If you think about it, It is not that many people on the ballot. Seriously. What state are you from? South Carolina. Okay. What district? I don't know. Let me see your card. Bloop. Oh, okay. So you can vote for Dorchester County. This is the national ballot for Dorchester County.
Right.
Resident, this and this. Okay, cool, gotcha. Check. Why won't we do that?
Right.
Why won't we press our representatives and senators to enact a voter rights bill that is inclusive of everybody, that says
right.
You need to have this type of ID, because now you can't have this, you got to have this real ID just to get on planes.
Yeah, I know here in Texas, it got to have a little star or something on it.
Ta-da! But I can get on a plane, but I can't go vote. Again, the hypocrisy in which we live under, the things that we don't do and the things that we do.
Yeah,
we gotta keep we have to keep focused and stay focused on what it is we want to put the ball on.
That's true.
How it impacts us. Because when we don't do that, what ends up happening is it be some shucking and jiving, and you be like,
you know it. And you got Paula up there praying for angels again. I can't wait to lose her job.
I don't know how she planned, and that's the thing. How you praying for angels from Africa
and South America?
With a congregation that believe that, I'm pretty sure if you tick them off, or you can just go back to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
How did that work, Paula? Just curious. Don't answer that question all at one time.
She looked like a clown, like her boss, who she say to be against Trump is to be against God.
No,
girl, God should have slapped you in your mouth when you said it.
No, that's not scripture, Paula.
Exactly.
Paula, don't go to hell now. And that's the thing. Again, I don't like when people invoke Bible or religious situations into the government.
Yeah.
Because you have to be careful. When people say, well, Bible, got it. Who wrote Romans? Out of curiosity, who wrote Romans? Oh, it's Paul. Okay. Who anointed Paul to write Romans?
Mm-hmm.
All I know is that, Paul was knocked on his behind from an ass on the road to Damascus and told, you better stop persecuting me, pimp. You ain't playing with you. You ain't playing, I ain't playing. I knock you off this donkey. Don't make me knock you off this earth. Stop playing with me. Get my name out your mouth.
Right, sir. Get your mind right.
Get my name out your mouth unless you're going to talk about me the right way.
And where was he when he wrote the Bible? Well, most of it anyway. You see?
What?
Like,
yeah, so I'm sitting here like, again, and I'm not telling y'all, I'm not telling you something that I heard. I'm kind of sort of telling you what I know, because these people make, so I go to Charleston Southern. I'm an aspiring Christian. I'm just not Southern Baptist. They make you take an
aspiring Christian.
I'm always a work in progress.
Where is Miss Deborah? Because I'm gonna need her to get you.
I'm always a work in progress, falling short of the glory of God.
But dispatch them same angels, then you'll be all right.
They make you take an Old and New Testament class. Trust me. When dude said, hey, I know people be talking about God ain't write Romans.
Nope.
He said that, I fell on the floor. He's like, no, seriously, God didn't write Romans. And in nowhere in this am I telling you that God or Jesus told Paul to write Romans. That's not what I'm telling you. He's like, it's totally different than God telling Jonah, hey, you need to go to Nineveh. And Jonah like, nah, I'm gonna do something.
Nah, dog, I'm going this way.
That's a no for me, dog. That's a total different conversation.
Right.
So you sit here and you have these conversations, it need to be in context. So when you pull something from Romans, God ain't saying nothing. Them letters do not come up red. It's not.
None of them. Yes.
And this is God's way of, no, this is Paul's explanation of how he believed this person should be acting if we're going to be godly like or striving to be godly like.
Right.
If you think that that's wrong, if you think, hey, man, that guy, he's totally getting it wrong. Okay, then I'm totally getting it wrong. Guess what I'm not going to do? Paul nor Moses is going to get me to heaven or hell.
Say that one more time for the people in the back.
Yeah, Paul nor Moses is going to get me to heaven or hell. I'm going to do that all on my own.
Thank you.
Without a good understanding of the Bible. What I do know is there are certain lessons in that Bible that you might want to pick up on real quick. Love thy neighbor as thyself.
Hello.
It's one of the ones you might want to pick up on real fast. Like swiper, no swiping, and then you say it before 3 times, and swiper got your phone and make it.
Yeah.
South Africa, South America, the South Pole.
Yeah.
I want to do that real fast because last time when people talk about, oh well, gay people, hey man, it's about 500 laws God gave the Israelites. It ain't just 10. And if you think it's just 10 of them, go and read.
Half of them have not read. That's the thing. Yeah, they haven't read it, or they haven't read it with the understanding that they need. Like I was looking at somebody's post yesterday. I literally laughed at her entire post. I know she probably was mad, but she named all these reasons, and I hope she watching. Anyway, she named all these reasons why she liked Donald Trump. The first one was he friends with Israel. What?
What Israel? What? Which Israel are we talking about? You talking about the country with the government, or you talking about the 12 tribes? You know the 12 tribes of Judah. Israel and 12 and Judah was 2 different places at one time. I didn't know that. What?
They say she said he was God ordained or something involving God. She named all these things, and this lady came back, and it was beautiful because she just disputed everything. He got rid of ISIS. Really? You seen ISIS, Roberto? Did you see him get rid of ISIS? I mean,
I know he caught a person. I know he killed a person. I ain't say caught. He killed a person, but
he killed somebody. But
that's like saying, that's almost like saying Martin Luther King killed the Ku Klux Klan.
She said
he killed the Jews.
ISIS. He did. Yeah, she said he got rid of ISIS. I'm gonna tag you. I ain't gonna tag you. I'm gonna just screenshot and send it to you because I don't want to do that because they might say something fly and then me and you be on the post, giving them the business.
Actually, I stopped giving people business. I started giving people business about 2 months ago because you know what?
No way.
I stopped giving people the business. I just give them a little education. I put a little B in there on it. Because here's what I do know. When I ask you to look something up, and like one guy so eloquently said, I'm glad that you're giving up fake news media posts in order to prove your point. And I said, no, if you actually go to whatever I tag you in, it's either somewhere that's peer reviewed,
right,
or it's an actual for crime statistics or things of that nature.
Right.
Actually, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you what somebody else did. They don't help me out. Let me help you with your understanding. What you want is out there. What you do is you ask Google for something and you say, I don't want the news. I don't want the news. What is this?
Right.
Okay, let me see.
Look at this and see what it's like. Yeah. That's
when it comes to character. I'm sorry, if you have to go look at the news or you need a site. If I told your mom anything Donald Trump has said in the last past, I don't know, life, would you be okay with me saying that to your mom? Now I get that some people don't like their moms. If it's your wife, would you like me to say that to your wife?
Right.
I get that some people don't like their wife. Would you like me to say it to you? Now some people don't like themselves, but
yeah.
One of the 3 people, I'm gonna hit a nerve. It's gonna strike a nerve. You're gonna be like
somewhere.
We're gonna get one of them nerves. Now, if I get one of those nerves, and then I turn around and say, I'm gonna run for president of the United States, I'm 100% sure your first thing is gonna be, don't vote for that fool. Why? Man, let me tell you what he said about my mom.
They don't see that. No, I'm telling you, this post, I was literally laughing. She said he defunded Planned Parenthood.
No, he didn't.
I mean, we know that, but that's what she said he did. She said that he was a man of God, and the person who was countering her said that man ain't been to church in 4 years. I mean, it was crazy, Roberto. I'm reading this and I'm like, where do we get this stuff from? Like, she was naming all of this stuff that he supposedly have done, and I'm like, where?
It's self-bias. It's literally in your brain. I'm biased.
Stop lying.
Everybody ain't grow up with Deborah Faye. I love my mom to death. She just had a birthday yesterday, 65 years old. Happy birthday again, Mom. If me and you got into it,
either, baby.
If you and I got into it, or if me and anybody get into it, my mom do not take my side first. That has just been her way forever. She take everybody else's side before she take mine. It used to infuriate me when she did that, until I got a little bit older and I started saying, wait a minute, but you do have to be responsible for what you reacted to. You gotta be responsible for what you gotta be responsible for what you react to. So if I'm gonna be responsible to what I react to, if I'm gonna be responsible, I don't care about what you're talking about. I ain't what I'm worried about that for. I ain't worried about that. And
I think that's the we need to take. Yeah.
I don't think people understand it. If you can't take responsibility for things you said or things you've done, then that's not a character flaw with the person you upset with. That's not a character flaw with the person you mad at. That ain't a character flaw with the person that hit you in the eye first. That's a character flaw with you. Because if you did something, you have to be adult enough or mature enough to say, yeah, I did that. I handled it a different way. Problem ain't the problem. Problem is your attitude about the problem.
Exactly.
And I got that from, Captain Jack Sparrow. But that is exactly what my mom taught us. The problem ain't the problem. The problem is your attitude about it. She ain't talking about that other person. What we talking about the other person for?
Right. I'm talking about you.
We talking about what did you do?
What did you do? Yep.
Yeah, so what did you do? Since you in here snitching, tell on yourself.
I used to have to tell my son that all the time. So what you doing? He used to dry snitch too. Like, he would tell stuff that was a month old. Sir, get out of here. When did this happen, Kayla? Oh, that was last week. Get out of here. Get out of here.
That was 2 months ago. Why are we talking then? But again, everybody don't have that same outlook. And we have to figure out a way to have at least a little bit of that outlook before we start pointing fingers, talking, asking. Because when you don't have that knowledge or the education, just that intestinal fortitude to be like, I don't know, can you help me? I know that this is wrong, so I'm going to say something. I know you're not supposed to do this, so
we need to start doing that. That's right.
If we have that, it's going to be an issue. We're going to have a us versus them. We're going to have a have versus have not. You're not I'm lying. Some of y'all are far left and far right knuckleheads. Some of y'all are. And if
on both sides,
I still love you. I'm not going to use good people on both sides because that's a lie. But I still love you.
Right.
At best, some of y'all are conservative liberals or liberal conservatives.
I don't even know what I'm am anymore, honestly.
You probably, I guarantee you're a moderate person. It is 100% believable. Can I come to your house and do? I ask you a couple questions. Do you want the government to come to your house and be able to say, Keisha, let me see your receipts? You want the government to be in your house 24/7?
Nope.
Do you want to practice the religion you want to practice in the sanctity of your home and at your church?
Yep.
Do you feel like you should pay absorbent amount in taxes if you don't have an absorbent amount of money.
No.
Do you feel like that if people should need, let's say healthcare, if it's best to spread the wealth of healthcare between everybody as opposed to, hey, you get out yourself, do you believe in that?
I do.
Guess what? The church thing put you at a conservative because
Well,
most people be like, "Man, you better leave me and the Lord alone. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not
Right.
want." Now, whatever you want, you take that over to the next door neighbors. Most people believe that.
Right.
Most
Don't
people
forget
believe
I'm
that.
a parent too, so
I don't got nothing to do with
that's
that.
a good thing.
Most people believe that I should pay taxes. It shouldn't be an absorbent amount. I don't make an absorbent amount of money compared
Right.
to what bring in. Most people believe
Right.
that. That's fair. Most people will say, well, I don't want to have to pay for somebody else's health care. Guess what? Whether they have Obamacare, Affordable Care Act, whatever you're trying to call it, before they had nothing, you had an HMO. The whole premise of HMO, the reason why the rate is high or low is based on the amount of people that are enrolled in it paying their
in that program.
so
Yeah.
you're pretty much paying a cheaper rate for everybody else.
Yep.
So the HMO is socialism, socialist healthcare. You're just paying, you just get to choose. That's all you're doing. You want to believe in capitalism, but you don't want to participate in it unless it's well, ain't nobody paying for my gas.
Right.
Trust me, everybody's paying for your gas because everybody they go pay $1, $2, whatever it is in the state you live in. We all paying the same amount. It ain't for me because I make more than you'd make, or you make less than me. So it's not the same.
Cool. James talking about he financially challenged.
You gotta work that out with the Lord. You gotta work that out with the Lord yourself. But I'm just saying. But all I'm saying is everyone, you're either a conservative liberal or liberal conservative. You are. You might believe that. I believe that women should have the opportunity. If you want to go get an abortion, go get an abortion.
That's my business.
That's your business. Now,
Yeah.
do I believe that you should go get an abortion? I'd be like, man, come on, man. We can make it work. We can do something.
Yeah.
We can come on. What can we do? But ultimately, I still believe that is your right. Because you can't tell me that I'm pro-life. Really? Define pro-life. Because when you say life, droning people is bad, killing people is bad, killing people is horrible. I don't care how you kill them. I mean, you can't be pro-life. Unless you say pro-life, you need to go sit down in a chair by yourself and shut up. Seriously, for the rest of the night.
And don't say nothing else. Period.
Choosing on pro. Well, I'm pro-life, but if you go kill somebody, you can get the death penalty. You just said pro-life. Shut up.
Yeah.
You just made it. Well, but in certain cases, well, then that means you pro-choice. I'm sorry. You didn't move from pro-life to pro-choice. Ain't no choice in the life, and ain't no maybes in between.
Right.
Nah.
Right.
So you pro-choice. Go sit down. But people don't want to go do that. They still want to be like, oh no, but I just
no.
Go sit down, because what you're telling me and what you're showing me, two totally different things. I can't.
Different things.
I'm slow. I'm slow. I promise you, I'm slow like Christmas. You know how Christmas come and then you waiting for it a whole nother year. I'm slow like Christmas. I can't understand when you tell me one thing and then you do something over here.
You do something totally, you do something different. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. What is we talking about? So people have to kind of be like, you need to, before you say something, you got to be like, hold up, let me
think about it.
I got my position straight. So no, I'm pro-choice. That's why, because choice ain't just in abortions. Hey, because I believe that you have the right to do what you want to do. I also believe that if Charles Manson eat your mom, that dude should be in there.
That man ain't kill nobody. Y'all need to stop doing that.
I know he ain't kill nobody, but somebody need to pull it on for 2 seconds and But I'm saying if somebody does something like that,
Yeah, he had a legion.
give him the gas, give him what that. But that's me. That's me. That may not fit for everybody. So you can't tell me in a state like Texas that they're not gonna revamp their constitution, man. You can get some amendments, but you gotta figure out what kind of amendments you want. Because I'll say it this way: the way you revamp the Constitution is through the amendments. So sometimes I think we do need an amendment on voting. I do believe that. I don't think it should just be okay, everybody can vote, and then you come up with laws saying you can't discriminate a person. You can't discriminate against a person voting based on color, creed, gender, blah, 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 blah,
right.
blah. It needs to be a whole amendment saying this is the way that you qualify to vote.
Yes.
Period, full stop. Because if you don't do that, these knuckleheads are going to keep trying to tweak a law and tweak a law and tweak a law.
Yep.
Either keep you from voting, stop you from voting. Missing in Ohio, I heard I think it was either Ohio or Indiana, where it was like, well, you haven't voted in 3 years, so we're gonna take you off the roll. So I ain't shot a gun in what 4 years. Does that mean I'm gonna lose my concealed carry?
My gun license? Yeah. I think they both need to be. Yeah.
Wait a minute, what is doing? So
yeah,
I think you can amend it. The hard thing about amendments is you got to go through 2/3 of the Senate and Congress, Congress in general, and then you still have to get that same 2/3 through the states, and that's hard
to get it done.
And
that's why we talk about local elections. That's why we talk about your people at the local level, who you put in there, make a difference in how those things get done.
Yeah,
we gotta hold people accountable, and we need to see other ones.
Steve, Elliot, go back out and vote for Steve Chalk. Alexandria, Louisiana. I'm talking to you. I think it's District 1 or District 3.
District 1, right?
I think it's District 1. Go back out and vote for Steve Chalk. I'm gonna say it again. Georgia, go back out and vote for your Democratic senators.
Please,
both of them.
Georgia, show up.
Don't vote 2 times. Vote 1 time, but for both.
Vote 1 time, but show up.
Vote, because the only way you're gonna make them listen. We have to understand this too. I'm not telling you to vote just so we have a majority. Also vote so that they can understand that there is a humbleness in being the majority,
right?
And some kind of sense of we know what we actually doing, as compared to I don't know what they got going now, because we can.
Steve in a runoff.
Well, let them. Hey, I'd vote again. I'd vote for them, but I'm not letting roll.
Well, we don't lay that no more.
They gonna definitely get me for voter fraud.
You suck.
Well, they is gonna give me if I go. I'm here to vote for Steve.
We ain't been citizens for a long time. Okay, they gonna lock us up.
Actually, I have not been a citizen of Louisiana since May 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't change my residency while I was here. Sure didn't. No, hey, look here, man. The military affords you a lot of nice little privileges.
I ain't right for that. Yes, go back out, Louisiana, Alexandria, vote for him. Georgia, we need y'all to show up again. Like, show up. It is so important. Y'all have already told people that it's important, that your vote matters. You have already proven that your vote matters. And I think we turning the tide to where you holding some of these people accountable. Like you said, Roberto, when they said that one word, folks was like, oh, that's what you said? Oh, okay then. Well, you can't serve us no more.
Yeah.
Let them keep talking and hang themselves.
Yeah, let them themselves, exactly. Let them hang themselves. Don't worry about, oh, this person saying this. They're going to say something that's going to give you an inkling in what they think, what they're going to do. Want to take that, do a little research behind it. Oh yeah, we good. I ain't worried about you. I ain't worried about you. Again, if and especially and Steve is a great example of people have been running saying they want to do something and it has never gotten done. And he had,
Right.
and again, if he's actually true to his word, from what he's been showing since before even running, he's gonna try to at least change. He's gonna at least change what's going on. At least take him at his word. Because what you got to lose? What do you have to lose? If someone hasn't changed something or something's gotten worse since whenever, why not give a new person a chance? And that goes for any level of voting.
Any level of government. Yeah.
You have to give those people a chance. I don't always agree with a seat changing, but there are some certain instances where it's like, well, you can't even tell me what you did. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just go with a change. I'm just go with a change. Nothing wrong with a change.
Or they go dig up something they did in '76 when we was born, and I was like, I don't even know what. I'm just saying, like some people I know here in Texas and Houston, it's two of them. Like y'all need to sit down. Like sit down. Yes, James. I hope so. Okay. I hope Georgia set the stuff in motion. Like, look, we can flip this state, and it can be done. Like we show people it can be done. And Jennifer got a good point too. Like, it seems like when I go back home, and I haven't been in a while, but it is gridlock on progress. It's like y'all not doing this yet. Wait, y'all still doing? Wait, y'all don't have, and I'm just like,
you got to give, and that's why I actually do agree with my wife with one thing she said, because she was like, everybody, there are some people that need to stay in Alexandria because they've been there and they have a sense of how the city is from where it was from when they were a kid to now. And then sometimes you need people to leave and go see something else and come back to invigorate the city to do something different.
Right.
When they were talking about crime, one of the things I want to pass on to anybody there at Ellick is the CJ. Here it's called the CJCC, but it's pretty much a criminal justice reform program that the federal government gives to the states, and the states can disperse among cities. And it's pretty much plans and ideas that come from local people that are in the criminal justice system, attorneys, judges, activists, and the people to try to turn the system around. Here in we do it out of Charleston, but certain things, and I know this is gonna sound strange, like in North Charleston, if they pull you over, you got 2 dime bags of weed, that's a citation. That's not a jail sentence. Citation. But it's less out of the jail population. It lessens the optics. A person is sitting in jail for certain things like DUIs. Maybe your first DUI, you don't get anything, but they do send you somewhere to go get you help. You have a drug problem. You have a person that's always up for their drug addict. They have drug issues. They send them to a treatment center. They don't necessarily put these people, you going to jail.
Right.
Those are some of those things that can help. Now, I'm not telling you that it worked for everybody, because you got certain people that's just be knuckleheads. Got it. But you can do things to help change how the criminal justice system works, and you can shape it as the community, as the city. You can shape your criminal justice system to fit your needs, so you can drive the numbers down. So you can now, on top of that, you also have to do stuff like Alexandria probably need a couple of new businesses to come in and help. Give people jobs.
Yeah.
Got it. But you're not going to get those things if you keep doing things the same way. I remember, man, wow, this is a long time ago. When I was at Hotel Bentley, and they was building that convention center.
Oh, that was right across the way. What is it?
Yeah, we
the river walks. I don't know.
We building this so we can get this, and this, and it's gonna bring money, yada yada yada. Do they use that for that now? Because people still be at the Alexandria Convention Center doing stuff.
It's too much.
I'm just being honest.
Everybody be at City Hall. They still be at City Hall.
20 years ago of building that, if you're not using it, and then it's just sitting there, somebody got paid to build it, people got paid to, but it's not replenishing, it's not turning money over, and
Right.
so those are certain things. Those are things that I'm like, we have to start looking at what can we do, and who's actually in the position to help your community grow and flourish. Because I don't think Alexandria is a bad place to live. I just think Alexandria's had some bad leadership, and it's not everybody in leadership. It's just certain entities. Is Jackson Street Extension still great? Because if so,
not with the bricks.
They do what? What'd you say?
I say not with them bricks.
Oh Lord, she's still. Well, you know what? That's a.
Don't you dare.
Oh, but you know, that's nostalgia. I remember when all the bricks in the Sonia, all the streets.
Oh, that's what it's called. The Ned Randolph Riverfront Convention Center. What?
You know, Ned Randolph, was the mayor for like, I don't know,
1,000 years. I'm just saying, y'all. But you know what? James got a good point too. Yeah. And then I think what we talked about on one episode, Roberto, was we're not groomed. Us, Black folks, we don't groom people to run for office or to be ready. Like, we don't have people ready to say, oh, you know what? Roberto, that boy's smart. Okay, let's get behind him. How much it costs, for him to be the city councilman? Okay, well, let's go raise them funds. Okay, now we see you did what you said here. You didn't do everything, but you did most of it. So we think you need to go a step higher. How much is it going to cost for you to get there? Let's all rally behind him. So we get 5, Black folks. It splits the vote. And then the white person wind up winning, who we don't benefit from at all. He said I got a roundabout now. Oh, okay.
I'm not talking about.
The bridge has lights now. We gonna have to go. Well, when COVID over, y'all, I'm gonna come visit.
I ain't gonna lie, when COVID over, I'll be.
But I think for one, cities like that, like, I'm proud. That's what made me who I am. That's my heritage. I'm from the quarters, Sonia quarters, born and raised. But it's not attractive for me to come and bring my business there. It's not attractive for me or most people to say, let me move here and start my business here, because education, for one, people trying to get to know something different. You may not have the support. And for those of you who are not entrepreneurs, you don't know how that is, how important that is. So we need to do things like Steve could be the one that comes in with that change, and it may be slow, but if everybody gets behind him and does their part.
Gotta do the work. Yeah.
Do the work.
Do the work. Learn how to be patient with one another. I mean, I don't know why you had. I remember. I think that was the mayor from the last time that they had 5 different Black people, and I'm not gonna say no names. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say any names because I'm not gonna. I can't question a person running for an office. I can't question their motive behind running for an office. What I'll say is this. It's not everybody got a turn. Everybody don't have to do the same thing.
You could do something else to be just as impactful.
How many city council seats are there? How many of those stay in those districts? How many judgeships are up for election? About things about being a mayor, and then who's representing us at the state? If everybody running for mayor, who at the state?
Right.
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 We have to. It's disheartening to an extent that we are continuing to do the same things over and over and over and over and over.
Not getting nowhere.
And
Not getting up.
I get
Crazy.
can't back one because everyone thinks they are the strong candidate. The strong candidate, somebody in leadership need to take all of them, put them in a room and say, look, let's go ahead. We're gonna be honest. All y'all not gonna be male. And if all y'all run at the same time, none of y'all are going
None of y'all gonna be the mayor. Yeah.
We don't just need a mayor.
We need this position.
We need judges. Yes. We need representatives. We need senators. And you mean to tell me that none of y'all feel like y'all qualified to go in these jobs? I mean, the one thing the military has taught me is there are a lot of state and federal jobs that you don't have to get elected for. As impactful as getting elected.
Exactly.
That's
the whole point.
The gift that keep on giving. But when people don't look at stuff like that, it makes it harder to find out who's the perfect candidate, not the perfect candidate, the best candidate for the job. Because all y'all doing, I heard this from this one last time you know, it's bad, but we have to figure out it ain't just happening in Italy. It's happening all over.
It's happening all over. Yeah. And Brooke got a good point. Complacency does lead people to be, less engaged. And it's sad that it's that way, but they're the first ones to complain about something not going right. Well, this happened here, or this didn't happen there. I know here in Houston, and I'm not saying that it just started happening, but a lot of these representatives here, I mean, they was, when I say emailing them 3, 4, 17 times, when COVID hit, and this wasn't going right, and that wasn't going right, before I knew it, here go my inbox with Lizzie Fletcher, John Cornyn, telling me about what they were doing to alleviate COVID-19 for small business owners and entrepreneurs, and what they were doing in the city. And it was all these stats and links to this and that. It's like you have to learn how to hold people accountable. Nobody likes change. And we know Alexandria is about history. So they don't really like change too much. They like it how it is. But you can attract new stuff there if you don't try to come out of those old ways. Like, it shouldn't even be that way. Like Jennifer said, that bridge costs so much. Why would you redo a bridge? I mean, we got 17 bridges all within that same area. You got the Pineville Bridge, Jackson Street, and then the other one that they just rebuilt.
Yeah.
How many bridges do you need?
I mean, I need like 4, maybe.
No, we don't need no 4 bridges. We don't need no 4 bridges. No, we do not. We need to start to do some stuff. And I hope Steve is the one. I mean, I know we don't live there anymore, but that doesn't mean that we don't take a stake, because we still have family. I still have family there. You still have family there, things like that. So there are even things when you don't still live somewhere that you can do, because it's our job. It's our job. And yeah, I mean, Houston is an exception to some degree, but
I think Ellick has a lot of. I think Ellick is probably basically a minority city as well. I think what's not being done is everyone probably has to get registered to vote. And then you have to realistically go through those districts and see where those lines are drawn for each district. Because Kentland and Sonia Quarter shouldn't have the same representative. The Sonia Quarter and Lower Third shouldn't have the same representative.
2 different areas.
It's not the same area. So you have to kind of see where those lines are being drawn up. Because sometimes
it's different here. Yeah. So like I'm in Houston. I'm in what they call the Energy Corridor. I'm in West Houston. I got a friend that lives in Sugar Land. She ain't got the same representative as me. She ain't even got the same mayor as me. Whatever.
What you in, Katy?
Almost.
Okay, because my sister. But that's what I'm saying. You have to have that. You got to have, without looking at the districts, there should not be a reason why Alexandria isn't a majority. Town at this point, because I'm thinking, even the last time I was home, I'm thinking like, wait a minute. So this, okay, nope. Man, I saw a lot of black people, and normally when we grew up, where the Garden District was mostly white, Garden District mostly black at this point. Yeah, everything from what, maybe the other side of Texas, Texas Avenue, MacArthur Avenue, on back. Anything on the other side of MacArthur Avenue?
It's MacArthur Drive. Don't do that.
Avenue Drive, same difference. It's a street, big one. But I'm just saying, I'm looking at all those places now that were kind of sort of, well, it was kind of sort of black. They're all, it's all black. Over by Lackaschene was blackish and white. Cadian Village, blackish. It's just been moving, and everyone's been moving down, or moving further and further west of Ellick, pushing that population down. So now I'm sitting here like, okay, well, if Kellyland is mostly black, you go to Monroe Street, that area is mostly black. Garden District, Sunny Quarters, Low Third. Where are all these white people coming from that make the city? I'm being honest. Where are they coming from to make the city a majority of white people?
Majority of white people.
I don't see that. I don't see it in that same way. I don't see how people are like, oh well, yeah, you know, it's this.
Wait a minute. Hold up. James say the bridge been out for 3 years. Reddick say 5 years. So, what?
No, it's still expanding on the west side of town.
Is that the bridge by 49?
No, the I-49 bridge should be. You talking about the bridge that they built when they built I-49? That bridge is up. I think they talking about what you call it. The bridge they would take you. I'm trying to think of the name of the bridge.
Like the back of Pinecrest?
Yeah, I think they talking about that bridge.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wait a minute. 5 years?
5 years, yeah. It wasn't up when I was there. When I went home, that was 20.
Oh my God.
Last time I was home was 2018. When I went for my cousin's funeral, that bridge was out there.
And I'm over here complaining that they still working on 290 in Houston.
First and foremost, people in Houston should never complain.
Yes, we should.
Should never complain. The second thing is most of the time when people have an issue with their infrastructure, part of that is money.
What? It ain't the problem here.
No, the problem in Houston is probably not money. It's just probably y'all, because y'all do have a raggedy interstate in certain parts of Houston. I ain't gonna never forget them.
No, we have no drainage here. So most of the construction is to put in drainage. And we're what, the third largest city in America?
Well, that's called, if you built a town. If you built a town in the swamp and then expanded it.
Don't go there.
You talking about don't go there? I'm just talking. Again, you got to give these people context. You can't tell them something and not give them context. You built a town in the swamp, then you kept building on it, even though people were telling you it's the swamp.
It's the swamp.
You said the bridge is on North 16th Street.
North 16th Street. Tanisha let me talk about raggedy. Yes. North 16th.
I'm not calling it raggedy.
Don't take a visit home. I'm sorry, Reddix. I'm trying to recall where you I ain't been home I've been gone since 03. So yeah. But I came back and visit, you know. That's where my heart at. But I feel like change needs to come. I think them millennials, because we ain't millennials. We Gen Z.
We Gen X. We is not
Gen X. I'm sorry, my daughter Gen Z. We Gen X. So we need to sit down somewhere too and let the millennials and Gen Zs do this. Oh, he says about the main post office.
You're gonna have to give me a little context about the main office.
We all Reddix. We sorry. You know
Oh,
what
okay.
is that, right?
Highway, talking about Highway 1 or Passenger Street?
Highway 1. Ain't that the main post office?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're talking about that one, the one that's by the Central Louisiana Surgical Hospital.
Oh,
No,
I know. Okay.
you 36.
Wait, Tanisha, you 36? No, you're not Gen X. Is she Gen X? Or Mill Carter. Okay.
I know what you're at now.
I know what you're at now, Grady. Thank you.
I ain't had to go to that bridge at all.
Tanisha, I think you, wait, is she Gen X?
No.
You're a millennial.
She might be close to it. She either Gen X or Gen Y or Z or one of them.
Then what? Listen, I'm not finna play with you. Reddix, I don't know if I know you or not, but we appreciate you giving us the tea. James, you know you my boy. Jennifer, that's my girl. Tanisha is my biz bestie. Let's talk more action. Okay then, Reddix. Okay then. Roberto.
Yes.
We want people to be informed. Yes. If they have questions, we do want them to reach out, because this is just the beginning, y'all. This election is just the beginning. Like, we got work to do.
We got a lot of work to do. No, we got a lot of work. We got a lot of work to do.
Done.
Yeah.
It
can be done. Again, all I ask is that people are smart,
right,
about how they do whatever they're doing.
What they doing.
And get buy-in and make sure you hold people accountable.
Hold people accountable. You say you ready for office? I thought somebody said he was running for office. Yeah, I'm glad Donald Trump out too. People who running for office, you need to call them out. James, don't do Houston like that. Listen, I just told you we ain't had no drainage, dog. So they putting in drainage, and most places don't have sidewalks. So they putting in sidewalks. They're putting in sidewalks. Roberto, stop that, because President Obama gave these people that money to fix them roads so these kids could travel safely on the bus to school. So
I don't have nothing to do with Houston, because don't be
talking about. Oh, she Generation Y. Okay, you Gen Y, sis. We
that
X.
That ain't the same as Generation X.
We older. You older, not me. I'm still 24.
First of all, I'll be old. Like I tell people all the time, I'll be old. The proof is in the pudding.
Oh, he in the runoff? Oh, okay. No, Tanisha, some places don't have no sidewalks, just for the pink people. But they putting, shut up, Roberto, but they putting sidewalks in, but most places here don't have any drainage. So, like, when it rains in certain areas, yeah, you can hang it up. I don't know if you recall last year. Wait, was that last year? In May, we had a major rain. It flooded like a whole side of town. No, I don't know. Like Roberto just said, you build a city and you don't take care of it properly. And remember, everybody moves here.
Houston's not meant to expand. So every time they expanded, they got something that allowed them to do that. It wasn't necessarily supposed to. And now you have sprawling city in a place that sits it's pretty much a flood zone.
Yeah.
And now when you have the weather like it's been a couple of years, you have people sitting in a flood zone and they're like, well, help. They on that Kevin Hart. Help me. You probably should have moved to Dallas.
No.
That's the best one.
No. Yeah, we got swamps and bayous all around us, Tanisha. Like they're not just like in one space. So like the bayou may start over here, like in the med center, and then it come all the way, it come all the way west. So it goes a long way. If y'all saw the pictures when, what was that?
It's like a couple years ago when the
What was the
hurricane.
last hurricane? I can't remember.
I don't know. It's too many.
Harvey.
But this is like 2018.
Yeah, so Harvey came and Harvey just sat on us. It just saturated us like rain just. So Harvey caved in interstates. Beltway 8, which is a tollway, it caved in. Like the whole parts of the thing, it just caved in. So we don't have proper drainage. So that's what they're doing. So yeah, but Roberto, as always, it was fun. We shall come back. Y'all tell us what y'all want us to talk about, because he crazy, y'all. This my homeboy, but
Yeah.
he crazy.
I tell people, I only play crazy when I need to. I'm not crazy. It's crazy when it come out, but this is actually the truth. Like like he say, Dave said, the only way I can tell the truth is in a punchline, and that's pretty sad.
Oh, y'all do have earthquake, and then they burn up y'all state once a year. Y'all had them fires.
Who?
Oh yeah.
My
she in California.
Oh, so I'm gonna go ahead and I would love to stay in California. I would love to stay in San Diego.
It's high.
I'm retired.
I forgot you got money. Can I get a loan?
No, I don't got no money. I'm retired. That's what I tell you. I'm retired.
You got money.
So what I say is this: I've been to California a couple times. It was kind of crazy seeing the fire on one side and the Pacific Ocean, all that water over there, and you scratching your head like, "How y'all got these fires again?" Don't worry, I ain't moving here. That and this was
earthquakes.
Imagine in 2000 and this was 2000. Imagine going to California in 2000. And we ain't talking about 2008, 2010, 2015, and the gas was like $3.10 for regular.
Yeah, and traffic is bad. Traffic bad.
I was like, nah, I'm good on. I'll walk everywhere.
Well, at least they governor was smart enough to shut their state down.
I mean, again, we have to kind of, it's in context. If I know I live in a red state and I'm trying to get reelected governor in 2 years or 3 years or whenever, and the president-elect right now holds the majority of my constituents in his hand.
Yep.
Hey,
it's a lot. What the hell is in Montana? What's in Montana?
Land. Hey,
from Alexandria, Louisiana. What we know about land in Montana?
I'm gonna tell y'all a secret.
James probably know. I ain't gonna say that. That boy is.
Let me tell you a secret. You know what the wealth of the nation is?
No.
In land.
I ain't got time.
Watch this. Zombie, alien, whatever kind of apocalypse you want to come up with happens, and you can no longer use your money because it ain't no good. What you using for currency? What you using to say you got something?
I'm not moving to Montana, and he ain't moving to no Montana either.
No, I'm just saying, if you don't, if you're not, what currency do you have? You don't really have currency. So if I'm trying to trade you for something, and you stuck in your house in Houston, or you got an apartment in New York, you can't give me anything. Not really. You can't grow nothing in your house where you can, but it's gonna be very limited what you can grow in your house.
Well, but if I can grow, yeah.
But if I got land, I can grow crops. I can raise cattle. I can do a lot of things with land. It's one of the things that it's the gift that keep on giving. Literally, it's the gift that keep on giving.
really go there.
I'm just saying, but most it's the reason why gentrification is an issue. Because if I
Right.
can beat you out of your land, if I can beat you out of your property,
Mhm.
you don't have currency now. You can't
Yep.
go. You can't hope that the new bank that Killer Mike is opening gonna give you a loan based against your second mortgage that you pulled out to open up a new business venture to become an
Right.
entrepreneur. You don't have
Right.
any. So now, if you stand, you stand with Grandma Moses at the 3-story apartment. Hey, I hope it work out for you if the zombie apocalypse happen. But if Mr. Man comes through and say, "Hey, I'm fixing to tear this whole thing down and make it a strip mall because I can get some money," you gonna move.
Yeah, you don't have no choice.
I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you that is the only way you can make money. What I'm telling you is everything that we've been programmed and indoctrinated.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, play the game, have some stocks. We got some. And do some investments. We got some.
Right.
But if you get your hands on some land,
Yeah.
when you die, make sure your son and daughter get it. And then put a provision in there that say they can only pass it on to their children, and put another provision in there that say that their children can only pass it on to their great-grandchildren. So they stay in the family, and you make sure that you drill that into their heads. You can't have nothing if you don't have nothing. If you rent your home, yep, Grandma Moses too. If you renting your home, what do you have? You have a but guess what? I can call the police and say, I want this person to visit my house, and they come help you move your stuff to the curb.
Right.
Literally, because it's mine. You come to this place, you come 106 back court, it's mine. It ain't mine and it's mine.
Right.
Mine. Well, okay, mine and my wife's. Not only.
Don't get beat up.
Yeah, full disclosure. Tequila don't have half. She has all.
Those are things we need to teach our communities. These are the kind of conversations we need to keep having. And I know sometimes it falls on deaf ears, but again, we weren't raised like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was never raised to acquire land, to acquire anything for the main part. I was raised to go to school, get a degree, and get a good government job. That's what I was raised to do.
Right.
So we have to have those conversations so we can let people know, like, this is what you need to be doing. Like, this is how we really do break generational curses and create generational wealth, because you keep passing it on and can't nobody take that from you. It's yours.
Yeah, because can't nobody take the knowledge away from you. They ain't got to understand why. You just got to know. Right. I don't know why Mama said don't do this, but she just said it. So okay, don't worry about it.
And we just did it like dummies. Well, we wasn't dumb. We did. We knew we would have got the hell beat out of us if we did. And we didn't do it. But now we know better.
Go get that belt.
Yes. Yes.
No, and they do have. So yeah, and they do, because, and I'll tell you something else for just GWiz information. The USDA, they are actually looking for people to teach them how to either herd cattle or own land to farm. They will do this for the free ski and give you the land and put you on it's a program where you don't necessarily pay back anything. Because they're teaching you. So you're technically paying them back by doing it, because you have all this land, we're losing farmers, and we still have a lot of food that go to waste, but we're losing a lot of those skills. And I know people say they go to school and all this stuff, but I'm telling people, this is one of the things I learned in TAPS. The USDA dude came up, he's like, and if you want to be a farmer or you want to herd cattle, come see me. We got a program where we can set you up at no cost. We'll show you how to do X, Y, and Z. We'll show you how to buy land. We'll show you where to buy land. We'll give you all these tools. And I'm sitting there like, man, I wish I wanted to be a cowboy or a farmer when I grew up.
You so stupid.
I don't want to do that.
James said he looking for investors. We need to holler at you, James, see what they talking about.
You don't even need it. You don't need investors. I promise you, you don't. Go to the USDA website and look it up, and they can actually instruct you. You can do it in Louisiana. They doing it in all 50 states.
I was going to say they're probably doing it in all 50 states.
Yeah, they doing it all in all 50 states.
Yeah.
You
He said you gotta stay there 10 years.
Hey, stay there. Hey, 10 years is 10 Christmases. You know what I done got the last past 10 Christmases?
But
I don't know either, but it ain't been that much. So you can do 10 years.
you know what? I'm done with you.
You might just be over 50. Again, look at the advantages to doing it.
Right.
Cons. I get that, when you're young, you're like, I can give up 20, 30 years to the military. In the grand scheme, yeah, you have those 20 or 30 years. I wouldn't do it now, but me looking back on it, I get a couple of free checks every month. It was worth it compared to what it is I want to do, compared to what I have and what I have. So look at the little bit that you're giving up compared to the maximum that you're getting, because there is a maximum in there that you're getting that you don't see right now. Because no one's gonna tell you. I can't tell you, unlike Paulo, that you're gonna croak tomorrow, you're gonna croak next week, you're gonna croak next year.
I'm not gonna don't bring her up.
I know, but I'm just saying, because
you called her and she put you on the main line.
You're right. I ain't gonna talk about it. But there is a need for us to be able to expand what it is we want to do. And trust me, I know people that want to go live somewhere where they don't have to really worry about, nothing in general, and just be left alone. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be cold. I can't do the cold. Now, if you was talking about like in South Carolina, where we talking about trying to buy land here in Hollywood, that's what we gonna do. You got me. But Montana, hey, look, it's cold as Haagen-Dazs in the wintertime. I don't do the cold like that. Oil and water, you do not mix.
Oklahoma part too.
But I'm telling you, there are people that probably want to go to Montana to do those things. Again, we are not a monolithic people. We have a lot of different faces to who we are. So I'm telling you, James, start a Facebook page. People will find a Facebook page, advertise it, say, hey, I'm trying to do this, 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 and this. There will be people that say, hey, you know what? I wouldn't mind moving to Montana with you. I wouldn't mind going up there and starting X, Y, and Z and doing this, 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 and this. You'll be surprised the type of people that want to do it. We have to find those people, and we got to start, again, coming together, making a plan, pushing that plan forward. Go, if you want to go to Montana, I'm not, if you're near a mountain and y'all open a ski resort, I will be there for about 4 or 5 days to ski. But I'm gonna take I'm coming. Hey, it is, Keisha, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't do that cold stuff, man. I don't play that.
We see that. How much you ain't there?
You know how much I don't like the cold? I probably got 4 long sleeve shirts ever.
You know what? I'm done with you. I'm done with you. That is a good question, Radix. They not paying people to move there?
I think every state is different. Like, technically, you can get paid to move there. Kind of sort of paid to move to Alaska. You may be getting paid to move. Could get paid to move to Montana. There are some states, if they need a certain type of person. Let's say James went there and he said he wanted to go and be a sheriff or be a police in one of the towns. They may be looking for a person that is willing to fulfill that job. So they will pay your expenses. They'll pay for you to move there. They'll give you a big, movement fee, but they'll also say, hey, because you moved to this state and you didn't really have to, we'll actually give you X, Y, and Z. You have to look into the state law, look into the programs. Everything is always worth researching.
Yeah.
Because you mess around and he be like, man, look, they messed around and gave me about $750,000 to come up here total. And all I did was bought some land, did this, and this, and
Right.
kept it pushing.
Right.
It's possible.
We just need to start looking into those things. We really need to start researching. It's out there.
Miss it all the time.
Yeah.
And I can't say that, I can't say that it's a dumb idea because it's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's a don't have a lot of citizens. See, mostly agriculture and farming, and agriculture means herding. I would herd some cattle.
Right.
I would do herd it. That is the cows pretty much keep themselves.
They do. That's a good idea. I need to look into. I don't know about moving to Montana, but I don't know.
He could start a movement and not even know it.
That's true too. You're right. That could be James. We might have to do something.
He could start a movement and not even know it.
Because I am kind of tired of the traffic, but I don't go nowhere anyway because it's COVID outside. So, yeah, you need to stay at home too. All y'all need to stay at home.
I'm talking about I stay at home most of the time. That's how I go to school.
Yeah, people need to stay at home. But this was fun as always. We must do this again. James, keep me posted. For real, for real. Redix, nice to meet you. Thank you, Tanisha and Jennifer, for joining us. And so we will let y'all know when we will go live again. Y'all have a good night.